Yes, she is.
Put it down against.
Okay, welcome everybody to our Wednesday night Team B conference call, actually Zoom call. We do these every Wednesday night, and the last 3 Wednesdays of the month, we always have a national marketing director that we feature. And tonight is our second guy. As you guys know, there's not a ton of guys in the business. There's the business opportunity, right, John? So tonight, John Shaw is a national marketing director from Toronto. Background is financial, investments, and we just want to welcome John. You know, as he always says, we use him as the token male at events. But we're just really grateful because his story is really powerful, and I really believe that we need to be bringing more men into this business. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been, out there and talking to a lot of guys and hearing their pain. I mean, their pain is working 40, 50, 60 hours a week and thinking about retirement at the age of 60 or 65. And that's not fun for them. And so hopefully tonight with John's story and kind of a little bit about how he got to NMD and how his life is. I mean, if you guys follow John Shaw on Facebook, I mean, the guy's all over the place. And where are you tonight? At a wine bar?
I'm outside a wine bar because I just didn't figure it was conducive to be inside. There's a little noise in there. It's not that loud, but we're just doing a little wine and wellness, right? So
nice.
Brought my wine outside.
Love it. So anyways, let's welcome John Shaw, and you can take it away. We usually go till about 9:30 and maybe 20 minutes, John, and then we'll open it up for some Q&A. So thanks for being on here tonight. We really appreciate you.
All right. So, I mean, I don't know if I've ever talked about any one thing for 20 minutes, but I'll give it my best shot. But for me, I mean, everything started for me back. For any of you math whizzes, you'll be able to figure out how old I am. But I've been using Juice Plus for 23, 24 years. It was the end of 1993 when I was introduced to Juice Plus. And it's funny because back at that time, I was in my very, very, very early 30s. And I was frustrated, I guess is the best word to use. I had no energy. Coffee was pretty much my lifeline. I'd get up in the morning after hitting that snooze button a few times, and I just had no energy. And, I need coffee. I'd be reaching for that coffee so that I could pretty much function. I mean, it wasn't like death's door, but I just had no energy. I couldn't, it just didn't seem right. I didn't think that you should feel like you're in your 70s when you're 30. And that's kind of where I was at. I had no energy. So I was looking for something, and Juice Plus crossed my path, and it made sense to me. Fruits and vegetables in a capsule. I mean, I didn't eat virtually any fruits and vegetables back then. And, it's funny when I think about it now, my diet back then was pretty much, it came from a bag, a box, a can, or a drive-through. And, I know now why I had no energy, because there was no energy in my food. I mean, I didn't understand it then, but so I started taking, using the capsules. And back then all we had were the reds and the greens, and I took them every day. And I never missed a day. And I didn't notice anything miraculous. But then one day what I noticed was I wasn't reaching for that coffee anymore. And I just kind of dawned on me going, wow, you know what? Like, I feel pretty good and I don't even need the coffee. And then, eventually I was getting up before the alarm clock, and I kind of got rid of I don't even have an alarm clock anymore. But everything kind of started to change for me then. And I play a lot of sports. I play hockey's probably my favorite. And back then I was struggling. Well, now, the kids that I'm playing with are the age I was and younger. And, I'm not as fast as them, but I can still get out there and keep up with them. So, I'm going about my business, and I'm feeling good. I've got my energy back. I'm sleeping better. And all these things are starting to change because of that one simple change I did in adding the capsules to my diet. And around the same time, I started to make some other health changes. You know, once you start putting good things in your body, I started craving more fruits and vegetables. And, you know, I quit eating meat back then. You know, a lot of things that you don't need to do, but I just decided to, and for whatever reason. And I feel great now. I mean, I feel as good as I've ever felt in my life. And you know, I'm pumping in the Trio. Since the Vineyard came out, I added that, and it made a huge difference in my recovery and things from working out. And then the shakes, back then I used them now and then. They weren't so good back then, but about 3-4 years ago when they made the formula change, like now I love them. That's my breakfast. And it has been for about 10 years. That's been my breakfast every day. I love it. You know, you'd have to arm wrestle me to get it away from me. I mean, I just love the shakes. And so that it's kind of part of who I am. And back when I started on the product, I was in the financial services business. I was a financial advisor. And, you know, eventually I was working downtown Toronto on Bay Street with one of the big brokerage firms. And, you know, it was exciting when you're young and you're in your 30s, but eventually that wears thin. You start to see, not everyone's, I mean, it's not just in that industry, but there's not everyone's a good person. Let's just put it that way. And, but I was working and it was exciting. You know, there's a lot of energy down there and every day was a whole new day, but I was sick and tired, I guess, of being in the rat race, you know, quote unquote, being in an office every day, stuck behind a desk. You know, I love the days when I got to go out and meet a client somewhere else just to get the heck out of the office. And I guess I was just going through a point in my life where I was frustrated with what was happening around me, because the people that weren't maybe so ethical were the ones that were reaping the big rewards, or a lot of them. And I never really thought about the Juice Plus business, but what happened, we were went away for a weekend, my ex and I. She was also in the business, and we went away. And when I came back to a bit of a eye-opening experience, to say the least. One of my clients had made some moves in his own account, and basically the $250,000 that he had been given to help his father immigrate from another country, he had lost, plus another $150,000. And the company wanted me to come up with the money. So needless to say, I left that company and went to another firm. And then just under 5 years later, I get served with a lawsuit. I'm being sued by that person who basically lost all their money and then some. They wanted that money back. And it's a bit of a frivolous case, but you know, it was a $750,000 lawsuit. And, you know, it was just, that was the beginning of the end for me in that industry. I just thought, you know what, like, this is not worth it. I don't want to have to deal with this. I don't even like a lot of these people. And that's when kind of the lights went on for me that, you know what, I love Juice Plus. One of my good friends, Zvonko, who some of you may know on the call, I called him up and I said, you know what? I said, see, what do we do? Like, because of my licensing, I can't talk to any of my clients. I can't really make it public knowledge, but I want to start doing this on the side and see what happens. You know, can I make a go of it? Can I start making a little bit of money, and enough money that at least it gets my attention, so I'll give it some more focus and we'll see what happens. So that's what we did, and we just followed the system that's in place, the same system that you're using or have seen. It's been, you know, fine-tuned every year. It gets a little more fine-tuned and a little bit more effective. But we went to work and just did it on the side part-time, and in 39 months I got to that top position, national marketing director, which back then wasn't too bad. Now I feel like a turtle. But the cool thing was I got a benefit package. And that was the thing, that was important for me back then because I wanted to leave where I was, but I just thought that would give me a little bit of security. And I've since left that industry. I'm full-time now with the Juice Plus company. And my business is, on a few different continents. And I'm not saying that to brag. It's just, it's indirectly because of me. I didn't do it all. I just made a decision one day that, enough is enough. No more. I don't want to be in this rat race. I want my freedom back. I want my time back. And so, for me, my life has changed a lot. And, now I said earlier, I don't have an alarm clock. I go to bed and wake up when I wake up. I mean, my mental alarm clock pretty much gets me up at the same time every day, but it's not because I have to. It's because I'm ready to get up. And, I make that smoothie and go online and just see what's happening in the world. And then I'll go to the gym. And, when I go to the gym, it's 9:30 in the morning. When everyone else is in the office that I used to work with, I'm at the gym and I'm on my own schedule. And that to me, I don't know, it's priceless. And, I don't have children or anything like that, but a lot of people on my team do. And they're getting their time back. They're able to spend time with their kids and their husbands and their families and, their ailing parents and all these things that they wouldn't have been able to do if they were stuck in that, 9 to 5 thing. And it makes me feel good inside that I've been able to empower these people to make a change in their life and take control and get their life back. And, I guess that's the most rewarding thing to me is to see other people be able to, live their dreams and control their own time and their own future. So that's kind of my story. I'm not sure if you want me to add anything else or if you have any questions, but that's not bad. I didn't go 20 minutes, but
Hey, John, no, that was great. And we have definitely some time. And I think people on the call tonight would really appreciate just some of the, what you did to get to the top position. I know that I think I just saw a couple guys join us, which is great. I think Jim's on the call and Daniel from Arizona is on the call. So I know sometimes our men in our business struggle. They don't know how to do it like us. So maybe you could touch a little bit on the men that are on our team, or, we also have women on the team that have brought their partners in. And it's what advice could you give the men on the team of, the men might do it a little bit differently, and what does that look like?
Well, it's definitely different. It's a bit of a challenge for men from the point of view, like I say to everyone, 90% of the people in our business are females. So you want to attract females to your business without a doubt, right? Because they're the nurturer in the family. They're typically the decision maker when it comes to things like our products. So if it's a couple, do couples events, right? Like if it's Friday night and you're typically going to have some people over for drinks or whatever, do whatever you're already doing and bring Juice Plus into it, but don't make it, invite them over. We've been doing some cool events. Last weekend I was in South Carolina. I've got a teammate down there. We did a healthy happy hour. And so it was a normal event. We just called it a healthy happy hour. And when they got there, they could have either a mimosa, a Bloody Mary, or I forget what the other one was. And then we talked to, we just shared some stories, some healthy stories, right? So we've done, it's similar to a wine and wellness. Instead of the wine, we had some different options, right? And it doesn't have to be about the booze, but, it makes a little bit more fun. And I know you're on a 30-day thing, so you can do the extra healthy happy hour. But fun events, be creative with the types of events you're doing. Come over and let's talk about getting wellness, getting healthier. I don't know if that's as appealing as if you can jazz it up a little bit with, you know, a lot of people, you know, and there's some people that don't drink, and that's okay too. But those types of events are what's going to get the people. For guys, you know, I was able to attract guys to my team by saying, you know, and obviously not the married ones, well, unless they weren't happy, I don't know, but 90% of the people in our business are women. What a great place to come and meet some, you know, and good women, like people with a heart, people that give a damn, right? Like good quality people. So that can be a carrot for guys that if, you know, there's a lot of single people out there. What a great place to potentially meet somebody, right? But honestly, I try and attract women to my business, and it's a bit of a challenge for guys because some women may take it a different way, right? Like they may think you're hitting on them or something, but so you've got to kind of, you know, watch how you do it and be careful. But, you know, men can do it because there's lots of men that have, but the odds are in your favor if you can attract women to your team. And maybe you want to pair up with another female that's in your upline or something to help you, or find a female and because if I talk to a woman by myself, they've got, you know, they're a little more defensive. If there's a female in that conversation, the gate drops, right? They're totally comfortable. So if you're a guy trying to share the business with a female, get another female on the line or get another female in the conversation, and that will just totally, you know, loosen up the conversation and make them less, you know, hesitant or whatever the word is there. But that do it as couples, and then if you can't, get a female involved with you just to kind of help, you know, get past that first hurdle. And then from there on, once they're comfortable and they understand, then you know, you can go from there. But you know, we have some challenges, but it's so worth it.
Awesome. We just got somebody typing a question. So we have a brand new distributor tonight on the call. Mm-hmm. And her question is, and she works full time.
Yep.
So what are your 3 tips for somebody that's working full time? Where should she focus in the business? What activities could she be doing so that she can, because she really wants to do this in a full-time way eventually and replace her income? Right.
Well, the first tip is get your 18 trios or whatever, is get your customer base as quick as you can. Mm-hmm. So that's number 1. Number 2, how are you going to do that? With events. Mm-hmm. So get some events, whatever events you're comfortable with, whether they're in your home or wherever. I mean, you know that. But so get your customer base as quick as you can. How are you going to do that? With events. Mm-hmm. On our team, we've done a ton of in-home events, like in your home, invite some friends over and have your sponsor or sponsor in your upline, depending where you are. But that's the first 2 things. So and then use your upline to help you attract people to your team because they've got success already, right? They're going to look at you for the business and go, what the hell do you know? You're brand new. You've never done anything. I don't know what your background is, but you're an accountant or you're a secretary or you're a whatever. What do you know about health and what do you know about this business? Bring in your upline. They'll bring the credibility. You have the trust, but you need to bring the credibility business-wise with somebody that's already done it. So get your customer base as quick as you can. Do that through events, and then from that customer base, you're going to get some teammates. You'll also get some teammates probably from those events that you do to get the customers, especially if you have somebody there with you that's already had success in the business. So that's what I would say.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else want to unmute yourself? Do you have any questions for John, his journey, his story?
It's a Rosemont Shiraz tonight.
Is it good?
It's great. You'd love it.
Lemon detox tea. Awesome. I'm pretending it's wine.
Put it in a wine glass at least.
Everyone's quiet tonight.
Nicole, I have a question for John.
Okay, yep.
Hey, Jim.
John, hey, have you used social media a lot with your building your business or helping others build their business? Has that been a big part of your plan?
It hasn't been huge for me, but recently what I've been doing is I've been doing a little bit more just to kind of make contacts, to meet people that I would never otherwise meet. So, I've been Instagram and Facebook just trying to grow my friends. And then when people comment on my stuff or people add me as a friend, I'll private message them and say, hey, thanks for adding me as a friend. We've never met before. What do you do? Or where are you from? Just to trying to get a conversation going the same way I would in the line at the bank or in the grocery store, and someone's got a whole basket full of produce, and I go, whoa, you look healthy. How'd you get to be like that, eating all those fruits and vegetables? Just anything to get the conversation going. So I do use social media. I mean, I'm in my 50s, right? Like, I'm not in my 20s, so I'm not the, it hasn't grown out of the end of my hand like the younger generation, but I do use it for sure. I'm by no means an expert, but I use it just to try and expand my warm market. And then when I get somebody that's, we've kind of cemented a relationship, so to speak, then I'll try and get it offline. But I do use it to grow my circle of contacts. That's what I use it for.
Okay, I appreciate that, John. Just something for everyone out there. Nicole, I just realized, I'm on that 22-day push-up challenge, and I've been, Brother Simon nominated me, so I've been doing that. And it was kind of, at first, a little bit tough trying to do the video of yourself, but I realized it said you got to go public with it, and I realized I've been doing all my posting strictly to my friends. And I thought, I'm learning something all the time. I didn't do it public on Facebook like a lot of my things that I'm posting. So I realized I was containing it to a narrow market of people. So it's just always growing and learning different ways how to advertise yourself. Oh, by the way, John, you want to be nominated for that 22-day push-up challenge?
I've got that on that thing too. Next question. But one thing I'll say on that is if you did that on Facebook Live, that would go to people that aren't even your friends.
How do you do Facebook Live?
Pardon me?
How do you work Facebook Live? How do you do it?
You only do it from a phone or an iPad. You can't do it from a computer, but it's like when you go into do a post, somewhere in there's the thing that'll say live, and you just click on it, and then it'll go. It's like Periscope kind of, and you type in what the topic is, and then hit start, and then it counts down 3, 2, 1, and then you're live. So you could stick your phone in like a glass or something to hold it up, and then just do your 22 push-ups or whatever it is. But it'd be great for that because you're expanding, because that goes to people that aren't in your friends list. It just, I don't know where it goes. It just goes out there.
I appreciate that, John. Thank you very much. Because I got about 15 days left yet to use that.
There you go. There you go.
Great. Anybody else have a question for John? Okay, so if nobody has another question, I'm just going to maybe one last one before we wrap up, John, is, we're in the month of September. It's typically our largest month of the entire year. People are really gunning for some positions for October. I know some people are feeling a little bit stressed and anxious about the last 3 weeks and how they're going to get there. Can you give them kind of any advice of what you did as you were building to some big positions, how you got through that push, and again, what kind of like your activity looked like when you were gunning for Q or you were gunning for NMD?
Pardon my French, but just a shitload of events, right? Like that's it. And they don't need to be 25 people events. Like you can do, a one-on-one is an event, right? Like a Zoom call with somebody could be an event, but a ton of events. And put people in front of your if you're new, put people in front of the successful people. And even if you're not new, Jay Martin says it best. He goes, if you're trying to share our business with people, 2 by 2. Have somebody else there. Have your amener there. Have somebody with you. I'm sure we've all had people knock at our door from the Jehovah's Witness, and you've never had them on their own. They're always 2 by 2. 2 by 2. That works in our business. So if you're trying to attract people to your team, do it with a partner. Do it with your upline. Do it with a buddy. Do it 2 by 2. And it's just going to give you more confidence, number one, especially if you're newer. And it shows them that when they get in the business, they're going to go, wow, so we've got support. Someone's there to support me. It's not just you who's brand new and really doesn't know much. There's support. Or even if you're not brand new, there's still support. It's more than just about you and I. It's about a bigger center of circle of people. So a lot of events, and don't try and do it by yourself. You'll never do it by yourself. It's not going to work. Do it, at least 2 by 2, and then lots of events.
Awesome. Thank you so much, John, for tonight. We really appreciate it. If you want, we'll send you the link to this call if you want to send it out to your team. We
Cool.
kind of YouTube it. And I guess we'll see you out at the events on Friday, Saturday, and we look forward to it. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. And go back and enjoy your wine. I'm not jealous at all.
All right. Have a great night, everyone. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.